All right, so in this video, we've got just a couple of SOH CAH TOA problems finding the missing side for us to practice, just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. Let's take a look at this first one over here. Let me zoom in on it. Okay. So I've got this triangle right over here. It's a right triangle. I have one angle that's 44 degrees, one side that's 5, well, let's call it centimeters, and then one other side that's x. I want to find the x side. The very first thing to do is to always label the three sides that I've got. So the first side I like to label is my hypotenuse, which is always opposite from my right angle. Over here's my right angle, so the side that's opposite from it is right over here. This is my hypotenuse. Next, I take a look at what angle I care about, which is this angle 44. I need to ask myself, well, which of the sides that are left over is opposite from it? Which of the sides is adjacent to it? From this angle over here, the opposite side is x, so I'll call this my opposite side. And the adjacent side is the one that's right next to it. So this side over here is my adjacent. Now, I want you to notice we have the adjacent and we're looking for the opposite. Once we're at this point in the problem, we should write out our SOH CAH TOA. It's a right triangle. I'm looking for a missing side. I have an angle. That means this is a SOH CAH TOA problem. So I'll write out SOH CAH TOA. Now, again, this is why I had us mention I have adjacent, I'm looking for opposite, because I need to look which one of these uses both adjacent and opposite. SO uses opposite and hypotenuse, so I'm not going to use that. CAH uses adjacent, which we have, but then also hypotenuse. I don't care about the hypotenuse. I'm not looking for it. I don't have it. So I won't use CAH. I'm left with TOA. I'm looking for the opposite, and I have the adjacent, so I'm going to use this TOA. Now, the other part you need to do is just, you need to remember what that stands for. This stands for tan of my angle, which is 44, is equal to opposite over adjacent. My opposite was x, so I'll just say x over my adjacent was 5 centimeters, so I'll say 5. At this point, we are almost done with this question. I just need to get the x all by itself. There's a 5 on this side and I'm dividing x divided by 5, so I will multiply both sides by 5. So I'll multiply by 5 here, which means I need to multiply by 5 over here. I do that because that'll cancel out this 5 with that 5, and I'm left with 5 times tan 44 is equal to x. At this point, you can just plug this into your calculator. Now that you've got the variable x all by itself, just plug this into your calculator, make sure you're in degree mode, and you should get your answer. So I'll come to my calculator, which I've got right here, and I'm going to do, what is it? 5 times tan 44, close those parentheses. Notice I'm in degree mode, so when I do this, I should get the correct answer, which is 4.83. We'll round to the nearest hundredth. So 4.83 is my answer, and I can write 4.83 is equal to x. All right, let's take a look at a couple more. I'll do the next one nice and slow, and then after that I'll start to speed up and kind of stop narrating. We'll just go through them. You can just see the process. All right. This next one. First thing I need to do is recognize my parts. I've got my right angle here. I always like to get my hypotenuse first. From my right angle, the opposite side is my hypotenuse. So right angle down here, this is my hypotenuse. The angle that I care about, 57, the side that's on the other side of the triangle from it is my opposite. So from 57 to over here, this is my opposite side. And the one that's right next to it is my adjacent. So my y side here is my adjacent. Again, I'll write out SOH CAH TOA. Make sure you take these steps each time because it really doesn't take that long to write out these 9 letters and to write out the hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent, but it's going to make sure you're never going to get this question wrong if you follow these steps. So, CAH TOA, I have the opposite and I'm looking for the adjacent. The sine part, so, uses opposite, but then hypotenuse. The cosine one, CAH, uses adjacent, but then not opposite. But then TOA uses both opposite and adjacent. I need to make sure I'm using the one that uses both. And since TOA uses O for opposite, which I have, and A for adjacent, which is the one I'm looking for, that means that's going to be the formula that I will use. And then again, it's just that same formula. So I'm going to write out tan of my angle is 57. Tan of my angle is equal to, now this time, don't forget it's opposite over adjacent. So this time it's going to be 7's my opposite, my adjacent is y, so it'll be 7 over y. Now some students will have a little bit of difficulty with this algebra problem, but it really isn't that bad. You just got to take, instead of 1 step, you're going to take 2 steps. Yeah, pretty much 2 steps. So what I'll do is, if I ever see a variable underneath a fraction, especially in a SOH CAH TOA thing, I personally like to try and get them out of there. So I've got 7 divided by y. I'll just multiply by y to get it out from the bottom there. If I multiply by y on the right side, I have to multiply by y on the left side. This will become y over 1 times 7 over y. What that essentially means is just, well, this y will be divided by that y. They'll cancel out because they just become y divided by y is 1. And so now I can rewrite this as y times tan 57 is equal to 7. Now we're not done yet because even though I got the y out from under the fraction, I still want to get the y all by itself. So now I've got y times tan of 57. I will divide this whole side by the part I want to get rid of, tan of 57. If I divide by that on the left side, you bet I better divide by that on the right side. So we'll now do 7 divided by tan of 57. The reason I do that is so I can cancel out this tan with that tan, and I'm left over with y is equal to 7 divided by tangent of 57. Once I've got that and I have my variable all by itself, I can just plug this other part into my calculator and I should get my answer as long as I'm in degree mode. So let's do that. I will clear that out. And I'm going to say, what is it? 7 divided by tangent 57. So 7 divided by tangent of 57. Close the parentheses, and I get that my answer is 4.55. So now I can say this side length that I was missing, y, is equal to 4.55. And if I want to put it up here, I could say, oh yeah, it's 4.55. 0.55 is my answer. All right, the next two I'm not really going to talk about. I'm just going to go through really quickly because I want you to see maybe another chance to go through them, but it's taken a while if I keep talking. So I'm just going to kind of do this silently. You can watch as I work. So I've got hypotenuse here, opposite over here. I don't care about that side. This is going to be SO because I've got opposite hypotenuse, so it'll be SOH. And I can do sine of 19 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, so 1 over x, multiply both sides by x times sine 19 equals 1. Divide both sides by sine 19. X is equal to 1 over sine 19. If I plug that into my calculator, 1 divided by sine 19, I get 3.07. So my answer for this question is x equals 3.07. Whew. That only took me about a minute and a half, 90 seconds. Let's do one more. Okay. Here is my hypotenuse. This is adjacent to my angle. Adjacent. So I will use SO CAH. CAH uses A and H, so I'll use the cosine. This is cosine of 62 is equal to CAH, C-A-H, adjacent over hypotenuse. So this will be K over 11. This is a nice and easy one. Multiply both sides by 11. Those cancel out, so I'm left with 11 times cos of 62 equals K. Plug that into my calculator and I'll get my answer. 11 times cos of 62, and my answer is 5.16. So then I can say K equals 5.16. All right, hopefully that helped you if you were having some difficulty with finding the missing side when given a right triangle. And I'll kind of zoom out, we can see all the work that we did in this video. Or at least the last couple of questions. Ooh.